Nate and Jorge, that's a really interesting one.
It is very interesting. I think that is more interesting because of their personalities. They do go out there and fight, but people are more interested in their personalities. Me, I really like their fighting style. I really like Jorge in this one because I think he has less holes. I think Nate gets hit a lot. But that dude is tough, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't even care whether you're hitting him or not. If he starts hitting you and it's going to be high volume of punches, then, it can definitely go his way. We saw him do that last time. He took some shots, knocked the rust off, and then took it to, was it Pettis who he fought? Nate.
Oh, Nate.
He just fought Pettis. Yeah. And he took it to him, so... Yeah, and if you let Pettis start getting those shots in there, he'll start finding them, and then those will increase in volume. But Nate took those shots and then started giving it back to him. He's a real smart fighter. I don't know who's going to win that fight. I don't care who wins that fight. I'm just going to be watching it.
Nate Diaz is a cardio king, but he doesn't possess the power I've got. So I don't know if Nate will knock Masvidal out, because I hit Masvidal with a stunning left hand. He said he was sort of knocked out on the ground, but he still survived. So I feel like that fight could be a 5-round war as well. So I feel like the co-main and the main both could be show stealers, but obviously with the main event that'll be the talk of the town. But as I said, listen, just to see my face up there, is I've got no negativity towards Masvidal at all. If he's making millions, if he's doing fair play to him, Since that fight we've had, he's only gone bigger, and I'm happy to have helped him with that. Even if it was what was the downside to me. But I just can't wait to fight and then see them two fight. I'll be back in the green room watching them two fight as a fan of the fight game.
I got Jorge Masvidal. I live in Florida, Miami area, so I got Jorge Masvidal. Maybe by TKO, I think by TKO.
Jorge Masvidal or Nate Diaz?
I don't know. I was talking this the other day with my coach, and I don't know. It's a weird one because sometimes Nate don't show up at all. You know what I mean? And sometimes it shows up. So it depends what kind of Nate shows up.
Nate and Jorge, what you think about that fight and how you think it goes down?
Who?
Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal.
I don't know, to be honest. I have no clue who's gonna win that fight. I think if it drags, then Nate probably. But I don't know. I haven't a clue.
That's a tough one. I mean, the longer the fight goes on, it goes more towards Nate. But I think Gamebred is going to come ready for that fight. And, he's a Florida boy, so I got to go with Gamebred.
Yeah, that's a hard fight to predict, actually. But Masvidal has been looking really good now, so maybe it's his time. It's a hard fight to predict, but I'll say Masvidal by decision.
Like that. Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal. What a fight. It hasn't even happened yet, but I don't really watch much UFC, but that's a card that I would definitely watch. Yeah, for sure. Especially just both of them being gangsters, they just have this crazy mentality. That's gonna be a good fight. Probably fight of the year. Yeah.
I think it's an amazing fight, and I am very excited to be, watching that fight. Hard to put any prediction on it because, both of them love both fighters, true gangsters, real legends in the sport. So rather not put any predictions on that.
Do you want me doing a prediction for Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz? it's a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. Two scrappy veterans, and I think I'm gonna go with Masvidal in that one. You know, I think even though Nate got the win in his last fight, I think at times he looked a little bit sluggish. So and Masvidal looked like it's been short performances, but he's looked really sharp. So I think I'm gonna go with Jorge in that one.
Unbelievable fighters, you know what I mean? That belt is, it should exactly start with them two, you know what I mean? They're both unreal fighters, but I'm gonna go with Nate Diaz because I think he's just relentless. He's got the cardio and he's tough as hell. But yeah, my prediction is gonna be Nate Diaz.
How do you think he gets it done?
I'm not gonna say TKO. Masvidal's too tough for that. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's gonna be decision.
I don't know. I'm a fan of both guys. I think the Diaz is a bad match for Masvidal, to be honest. I think Diaz is going to wear him down. That's what I think. But I don't know. Masvidal's got that crazy power, and he has a mad style as well. So I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Well, I actually just recorded the Inside the Octagon for this, so I'll try and give you the summarised version of it. I actually think it's going to be Diaz that's going to try and start faster in this one. If you go back into Diaz's career, you watch him against other strikers, obviously Pettis, his most recent one, but then go back to like Cowboy and Josh Thompson, guys that need a bit of space for their striking, he tends to pressure them quickly. He'll take a few shots to try and get his hands on them. So I think it's going to be Masvidal that's going to try and study and wait and kind of bide himself some time and look for the opportunities. Masvidal's great at exploiting predictabilities. You know, if you do something consistently, like if you're Ben Askren, you always level change with your head to the left side, he's going to set you up perfectly for that. And he can either learn about you in that first round, like he did with Darren, or learn about you in the research before the fight even starts, like he did against Askren. And I feel like because there's so much of Nate Diaz to watch, and his game's not really changed a great deal. He's refined elements, but the predictabilities are still there. So I feel like Masvidal might come in with a good idea of what he wants to achieve, and I think Diaz wants to come into this one knowing he has to keep the pressure on him early so he doesn't get set up.